Welcome to Conversations in a Car on All Damn Musical Radio. One sound, one voice, heard in over 80 countries. I'm Frank Lind, and with me today is my lovely co-host, Kathleen. How are you, Kathleen?
I'm wonderful, Frank. How are you?
I am actually pretty splendid. I have to say that I got a haircut, and I'm feeling pretty good. Welcome to the opening.
This is
The opening. Today is the pilot episode of Conversations in a Car.
Did you see what Star Wars made?
Star Wars is off the hook. You know what's interesting about that is that it's everywhere. I mean, if you actually walked outside, I think I tripped over a Star Wars stone outside. It's like everywhere.
I wanted to go to work as Princess Leia today.
I actually did go as Princess Leia. You know, I went to the store, and this is not a joke. I actually went to the store, and I looked on the shelves of the supermarket, and on the supermarket shelves was actually there was a Star Wars advertisement on cereal, soup. There was some on. It was everywhere. I mean, you cannot escape Star Wars.
I remember the very first movie I went to was Star Wars, where I fell in love with science fiction.
Really?
Yeah. Oh my God. They had the huge theater where I grew up. It's just the massive theater. And then that's where I was just in love. I wanted to be Princess Leia. I wanted to live in the stars, amongst the stars. Yeah.
I remember seeing the original Star Wars, and it's like nobody even knew what this movie was going to do. I mean, it was like, what is it talking about? And it was like such a cutting edge film at the time.
It was.
So, and you go there, and I remember going there and waiting in line for 3 hours to see this movie that nobody even ever heard of. Cities to visit:
Chicago, LA, New York. So where are we headed?
We are going to go through the streets of Miami, Chica. We are going to see some of the most wonderful things. And I'd like to take you along. So what do you think? I mean, what do you think? Now let's talk about the interior of the car. What do you think?
Well, I love the interior. What's this button for?
No. Let's back it out of the garage first before you start pressing buttons. I know you're the button happy, but let's get this car out of the garage. We press the garage door opener. Let's actually get it out onto the street, and then we can press all the buttons. How about that?
Okay.
And I know what's with your obsession with pressing buttons.
I'm a woman.
Okay. All right. So here we go. We're driving. Oh, there we go. Now we're driving.
Okay.
And we are having conversations.
Okay.
So
can I press buttons now?
Go ahead. Press all the buttons you want.
Okay. What's this button here for?
I don't know. What does it say? Navigation. Hello, I'm Carter. How can I help you today?
Carter?
Whoa, what was that? I am your navigation instructor. I'm actually a captain here. Captain where? I am actually your car.
Our car?
Wow, this is actually a new feature for Jaguar.
Woo, Carter.
Hold on, please.
Entertainment.
Movies.
Music.
Books.
Oh my.
I'm alright. Nobody worried about me. Hey, did you know Caddyshack was actually filmed in Miami?
Davie, Florida.
It's part of isn't it kind of close to Miami?
It's close to Miami, but it's not Miami.
Caddyshack is like one of the greatest movies of all time.
Yeah, you make me picture that little...
Hey, now.
That little guy who's shaking around in that.
Hey, this is a family show. What are you talking about? Only thing I can remember.
That little gopher?
The gopher. Okay. I'm like, okay, where are we going with this, all right? It's funny. I was actually thinking about the Dalai Lama scene, which is that's the scene I can't get over. Hey there, Lama. Yeah. Lama did a little something for the effort.
Yeah.
Bill Murray. That was awesome. And I mean, just to know that was in Miami or near Miami. But that's one of the great movies. So, did you know that Something About Mary was actually filmed in Miami?
That is my favorite movie. It's funny. I don't know if it's my favorite movie.
It's a comedy.
It's a comedy.
And you enjoy comedies.
Healthy
living tips. So you were telling me a story before we got into the car, actually, about your mom not being able to sleep?
She hasn't been able to sleep for the past 30 years.
That's a really long time.
I know it is.
Is she like a vampire?
She could be, but see, she can't sleep. So I think vampires sleep. They just have opposite sleeping hours.
Well, they sleep during the day.
That's right.
And your mother.
And they hang upside down.
Well, maybe
I don't know if she hangs upside down.
I think I saw your mom upside down once. She may be a vampire. That's the whole problem here. You know, she says she's got insomnia, but in all actuality, she's probably a night walker.
I know she is.
You know, I mean, it's kind of interesting.
I read an interesting article about neurofeedback.
What?
For people who have insomnia, which this was interesting. It says people who have insomnia have excess beta or alpha brain waves, what happens is they can't slow down.
Oh, do explain.
So when they go to bed, they're just really stressed out in their minds, and they have to rewire their brains.
Now, how do we rewire a brain? We were washing our dogs today, all right? And we actually have 2 dogs, Ava and Hannah. And one of them likes a bath more than the other one, don't you think?
Clearly, yeah.
And I was thinking, it's so difficult to get dogs to take a bath that I don't understand why.
I don't know. They're not like they're cats or something.
I mean, to me, it's like it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But they were actually very, very difficult. I mean, Ava's not a fan of the bath.
No, she's not.
She's not a bath lover. No. She's like, you know what? I'm not going to participate in it.
Yeah, you wash her paws. She growls and
it's just amazing. I mean, to try to get him into water is actually kind of difficult.
Yeah.
But Hannah doesn't mind it.
She can get temperamental too when you put the water on the back of her neck.
Well, I get like that. Questions from the listeners.
Questions
from the listeners. Questions from the listeners. Now, what we've come to is if you open up that glove box right there.
Okay.
Reach in and grab that first card. All right, there you go. We actually have a segment we call questions from our listeners that we get from Conversations in a Car on musicalradio.com. You just send in your questions, and we have a person on that card. Who's the name on that card?
Robert.
Robert has a question. And what is Robert's question?
He wants to know, what's the worst thing that happened to you on the air?
Wow, that's a really good question.
Robert.
That Robert. He's funny.
Yeah.
Okay, and what's the worst thing that's happened to you in the air?
All right, well, I was interviewing somebody, and right before they come in, they came in a little bit late, and I kind of wasn't prepared for that. And it was a hot Miami day, so I had to drink about a gallon of water before they came in. And the interview was running way over what I had planned in my mind, and I was sitting there with a gallon of water.
That's a lot of water.
Yeah.
Inspirational thoughts. Inspiration. I mean, so, like, what are some of the things that inspire you? I mean, what brings inspiration to you?
Inspiration, that's very interesting because I think it's a personal thing for each one of us.
Do share. I mean, now you've got 80 countries that want to hear what you feel is personal, so get it out there.
Well, I don't know. I think my dogs are such an integral part of my life. I don't know that they inspire me, but they do.
Sure.
But they do bring me joy, and
That's
they bring me love.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's funny because puppy cuddling is a big thing for people.
You've been dying to get to that story all hour. This better be good. I better love puppy cuddling after this. And we're going to pull in the driveway, shut off the car, turn off the ignition. And I want to thank everyone who came along with us for turning us in and turning us on our Damn Musical Radio, One Sound, One Voice. I'm Frank Lind.
I'm Kathleen Lind.
And we'd like to thank you for being here, part of our pilot show. And we look forward to next time. Keep your hands on the wheel.
Your foot off the brake.
And your eyes on the road.
Thanks for listening.
Do